Good evening everyone and welcome to the SRS GT3 series. We are here for the season finale. It's round 9 of the championship as we take in the circuit of Spa-Francorchamps for what is the iteration of the Belgian Grand Prix. My name is James. I'm going to be taking you through the stream as always, and joining me in the commentary box is another member of the SRS Motorsports team who will be finishing third in the standings tonight. It is Mr. SMM_Palmer. Palmer, how you doing?
Hello, good evening. It's very good to be here. Of course, I would like to be out on track, but I'll be put down as retired after, of course, my pedal issues. Obviously, yeah, it's going to be quite a long race. Hopefully it'll be a good one. Of course, Spa always puts out a very, very good race every time. Of course, last season it was in the wet, and that was a pretty good race. So hopefully this race would be pretty good, and I think qualifying would be quite good as well.
I think it's going to be fascinating. As we can see the fastest lap of this session as we see Tice cutting across the grass. That, my friend, is the wrong way, and that, my friend, is a huge crash. So Tice crashing there already. 2:16.5 though for myself, Palmer. Fastest lap currently in session. That was set in an Audi, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So it will be good to see how this man, Bo Fushidara, is going to get on out on track. He was so quick last week. Led for 54 minutes of the race in Austria, and then it all went completely pear-shaped. It looks like he's got the pace because he's quicker than Rotary, quicker than Tice, quicker than Black currently. And this Audi, how good is this car around this track?
Of course, it struggles on the straight line speed, so of course it will definitely get caught on the straights and that. But I think especially the second sector is where it comes to its own. I think where it builds back up the speed, or the time, sorry, from obviously losing all that time. And, obviously I'm not really too sure how it will go in the race. Obviously it'll be very, very good over one lap, but the tyres do go off quite quickly as qualifying is about to start.
Qualifying is indeed about to start. Black, of course, already crowned champion coming into tonight on 245 points. Palmer, you're in second on 168. Tyson third on 158 after his win last time out, of course, at the Red Bull Ring. Splash is in fourth on 120 points. Marcello was in fifth on 95. CEO in sixth on 71. Bull, who looks a favourite to take sixth positions, in seventh on 68. Herrera in eighth on 57. Doug just 1 point behind on 56. Volschweitzer in 10th on 36. Then Yera on 30, Reds on 25, same with Tap as well in 12th and 13th, Viper on 22, KK Dot on 20, Petrolhead on 18, Superboy on 12, and Bar on 9 points. Constructors standings though, the team standings, SRS Motorworks, AMG, as I'm going to have to back out as I'm just seeing sky and trees there on my end. Tice now coming through into the Lacombe section of the track. Team standings though, SRS Motorworks AMG 321 points, Team Simpact Racing only with Black at the helm on 316 points, 5 points in it. SRS has more cars than TSR, but can Black outscore your boys?
Well, hopefully not. But yeah, obviously it's been shown obviously over the past 2 seasons that T5 Black can clutch it out of the bag. He's a very, very quick driver, very smooth, very consistent. But even when he does make mistakes, he just somehow appears in first or second. That was shown in Suzuka last season when he spun at the first turn, and also at the Nürburgring when he jumped the start and got a bad start. So, obviously it's going to be quite tough for him to get that Constructors' Championship for TSR. But obviously, I do know that he's going to take all that he can get.
Yeah, Black there, final man out on track. Looks like he's been doing a bit of fuel revving, essentially, as he now comes through Pouon. Now not doing that, which is good to see. The Mercedes, quite a good car around here, but Tice, on a beautiful, beautiful run-up towards the bus stop chicane, is about to take us through a lap. Splashes in behind him. Shadow as well. We'll come on to him in just a second, but a wide-out line from Tice to start off what is the first lap of qualifying. Quite a long track as well. It could have been 15 minutes worth of qualifying, but it's not. It's 10 minutes. So these guys have really only got 1, maybe even 2 chances to get a full flying lap in. Tice now down into the source at turn 1, and then as you can see there, down towards turns 2 and 3 out of Rouge and Radion in the right order. I'm not making a mistake like some F1 commentator did back in the day. Tice now running up towards turn 2 through a Rouge and now through the Radion section at the top of the hill. Of course, we have to pay tribute to Antoine Hubert, who sadly lost his life, of course, in 2019 in that horrific Formula 2 accident. Juan Manuel Correa is still recovering from that accident as well. Tice then running up in towards turn 4. The first sector split 39.3 through the first sector from Tice. Not a bad first sector at all from the Sidemax Motorworks driver. Catches the second gear, now catches into third. About 90 mile an hour maintained through the exit of Lacombe. And now down we go in towards Bruxelles. Bruxelles, of course, being this corner, this hairpin, 180-degree right-hander, and then we go into the X section, the corner, or better known, of course, as No Name. Then running down in towards the double gauche, which is, of course, Pouon, and then there's a subsidiary left-hander as well with that, but it is called the double gauche to give it its full title. We know it better than you and me. There's Pouon as he now comes through that section. And then we come down into the Le Fagnier section. That's a real bit of a mouthful to say. I'm just going to name it Campus because it is Campus Corner afterwards, as he now comes through the chicane and now runs down towards the Campus Corner. Now in through the middle sector, Stavolo up next. 140.8 through the middle sector from Tice, maintaining the full width of that car as he goes through Stavolo, which is very good indeed. Now through curb Paul Ferrer on the left hand side as he now comes Blanchimont, which is of course the next corner out on track. Of course there's only, I think there's 19 turns I think on this track if I'm not mistaken. But Tice through Blanchimont, taking it flat out, 155 mile an hour maintained as he now comes through into the final two corners. That's pretty much a lap of Spa over and done with. Through the bus stop chicane he comes. Of course it was redone in the early 2000s, the bus stop chicane. But Tice through, across the line he comes, and it's a 2 minutes 16.9. Nearly said a 1:16.9. But Splash goes about a tenth and a half behind that. Tice though on top early on.
Yeah, good lap from Tice, and his teammate Shadow slots in behind him. I was taking a look at the live timings, and it looks like Bo Fashidara went purple in the second sector.
He's in. He's into the pit lane.
He's into the pit lane. So I wonder if there was a mistake, possibly, or something. The live timings did glitch a little bit there. That's why I had to pause them. Yeah, quite odd there because he was about 4 tenths faster. Or 4 tenths purple in the middle sector. Of course, you know, I did say before qualifying his T5 sets 17.5 lap time, which is slower than what I thought he would do, to be honest. 6 tenths off Tice. The top 5, four out of the top 5 are Mercedes, and he had Shadow in the Aston Martin. Yeah, 6 tenths covering the top 5. I thought it would be closer than that, to be honest. But of course, Spa is quite a long circuit compared to some of the others on this calendar. Yeah, Bo Fashidara. Not really too sure why he went to the pits there. Maybe just wanting to get a new set of tyres, obviously. But now he's sort of in traffic.
Yeah, he is within traffic, but I think, to be honest, he's came into the pit lane because he's going to try and get 2 runs out of these tyres and out with this fuel. So I think he's came into the pit lane. He's got Volschweitzer, I think, just in front of him out on track. But Bo, 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go, that's good enough time to get 2 laps in. He's going to be about a minute worth to spare, so he could either back off, let a few of these guys through, and he's still going to be charging on the back of Volschweitzer, who I think is on a lap if I'm not mistaken, so you can already tell how quick the Audi is. He's on an out lap currently. We'll just see if there's any more improvements coming up further through the field. Viper appears to be on a lap as he now comes up towards Blanchimont with 3 minutes and 10 seconds to go. Just over that now. Tice into the pit lane. Shadow second. Splash in third. Rotary fourth. Black in fifth. Viper sixth. Doug seventh. Volschweitzer in eighth. Currently on top 8, of course. 14 drivers are doing battle, of course, out on track. Viper comes into the pit lane. Pretty typical, I think, of Viper there. But now we're going to go back on board with Bo Fashidara because he's just about to start a lap. But is that a good thing to be behind a Lexus in front?
Well, of course, as I alluded to before qualifying, of course, the Audi does struggle in the first sector, especially up Eau Rouge and through that long straight. of course, the Audi not very good in a straight line. So I think hopefully he should be able to get quite a good slipstream. But with Volkswagen down in 8th with a 118.3, I don't know if it's the right driver. Although you might try to make a although Volkswagen just put on his hat, so I think he's pulling over and letting him through, which is very sportsmanlike. And he's 2/10 purple, almost 3/10 purple. That is amazing from Bo Fushidara in the slipstream, and that shows how powerful the slipstream is as well. Because even with the Audi straight line speed, it still made him fastest.
Yeah, really good to see. He's 3/10 up in that first sector on his purple lap. But he hasn't had a lap time just yet, so he's inevitably going to be continuing to try and improve as he slides his way through X corner, runs out wide, could pick up a 5/10 penalty out there. Now on the run down towards Pouon, which is of course halfway around the lap of the 7-kilometre circuit here in Spa. I would normally be talking about DRS ranges and stuff like that and tyre degradation, which we will come on to of course at the end of qualifying. Bo Fushidara now on a lap as he comes through the Fagnier section out on track. I don't want to allude that to an SLM member who we might have had in a little bit of a run-in with, but Bo Fushidara now coming through the Campos section, and he's still nearly 3/10 up, 140.5 through the middle sector. So Bo has now got to try and make these corners click as he comes through the Paul Frere section, and now up towards Blanchimont, which will be this next left-hander after Paul Frere, as he now comes through the Blanchimont section now, runs out wide onto the green stuff, but manages to get that car beautifully through. 155 mile an hour to maintain. Shadow and Tice are just preparing up for laps ahead of them, but Bo now around the final corner. Let's see what he can do in this Audi. I think it's going to be a 2:16.6 possibly from Bo. Comes across the line to 2:16.5. Really good lap from Bo Fushidara, 4/10 a second quicker than Tice. Shadow and still 600th behind, but Bo Fushidara, his pace has been absolutely electric. Oh, Volschweitzer has a moment coming out of turn 1. That's his qualifying now, over and done with. Just saw that in the background I've shot there. But Bo, 4/10 clear of the rest of the field. I know these guys have got more laps to do. We'll focus on Tice in particular. But Bo Fushidara, where on earth does this pace came from? He's been missing all season.
Yeah, that is absolutely insane. I think definitely a spark has lit inside of him. I did notice though he didn't go purple in the second sector, so I think there is still a bit more time to get there. Of course, I think he will be. Yeah, he is quite much slower in the first sector on this lap. Tice setting a new personal best in the first sector, but yeah, quite close. I think especially with Tice and Shadows. Tice runs wide, going through No Name. I don't think he'll pick up penalty for that, but I'm not sure if he'll get dirty tyres on his right hand side going through Pouon. Yeah, 4/10 ahead in that Audi. I did say that the Audi was pretty quick, but I didn't think it was that quick going through the lap. That was absolutely extraordinary.
It's the final sector where he really gained the time. I think he gained like 2.5 tenths nearly on Tice in that final sector. On board with Tice. Qualifying has now ended, so the final laps are coming in. Tice, though, responding. Purple middle sector from Tice. This is where the Mercedes now begins to come into its own. I think that's Splash just ahead of him out on track, which will go on board with now. He's going to be the first to come across the line. 4/10 penalty, though, he has got. I don't think he's going to be improving. In fact, he's not going to be improving on this time at all. So let's ride back on board with Tice as he now comes through Blanchimont on the run up toward the bus stop chicane. This needs to be a really good lap from Tice as he now comes through this bus stop chicane, through turn 17 and then through turn 18, and now Tice now powers it to the line. Shadow just in behind as well. Tice will go quicker than Bo. No, he doesn't. He goes nearly 600ths down on him. Shadow across the line doesn't improve. Neither does Splash. Rotary is on a good lap here as well. T5 Black is not sending in a lot of time at all. Rotary now is approaching the line. Hair Racer moved up position. Viper goes 6th ahead of Black. Good qualifying from him, the American, as now Rotary comes out the final corners. He could have been the spoiler of the party. Comes across the line, he goes 3rd ahead of Shadow. Good lap from him. Tap doesn't improve in behind. I think that is pretty much everyone done, if I'm not mistaken. We've got SDM Reds round the final corner. Volschweitzer not improving after that spin. Reds across the line. He doesn't improve either. And it looks like he's glitched. Oh, 217.8 as now qualifying has ended. And Reds improves up to 9th. But it is Bo Fushidara on top, Tyson 2nd, and Rotary in 3rd position. Here we go then for the season finale in Spa. 1.5 hours, of course, await these guys out on track, and we hope that we're going to get all 14 finishers, and that we hope we're not going to get a restarted race. We saw Reds just glitch the timing boards at the end of qualifying there. Petrolhead really disappointing with a 2:27 flat down there in 14th position, but what a camera angle that is. As we look down on the grid, you will see the 5 red lights coming on very shortly indeed for the season finale here in the SRS GT3 series. The red lights are about to come on, and we're about to get underway here in Spa, and it's lights out and away we go, and Bo Fishadara gets a very good launch, but so does Tice, so does Rotary, probably Rotary better out the 3. Viper lagging down towards turn 1, trying to get Shadow, and actually is causing a whole lot of lag. Doug trying to go around the outside of him. It's 3 wide though, as they all Constantina through very cleanly indeed. It's Bo Fishadara who leads the way out of turn 1 through La Source, and now on the run down the hill towards the Rouge and Radion as we ride on board now with Tice trying to get him up the hill. Rotary 3rd, Shadow in 4th. Bo Fishadara those under pressure really from all the Mercedes in behind. Tice now going side by side with him, trying to go as there's 4 wide in the background. I think that's Splash and Doug going side by side as well, just in 7th and 8th. But now Bo Fishadara under pressure, he's getting swarmed from every single angle. Aston Martin against the Mercedes, but it is still Bo Fishadara who leads. Tice in 2nd, Shadow 3rd, Rotary in 4th. The Astons have a really good start as well, but Tice not managing to get through on Bo. Running wide though, I think was Volschweitzer. He's actually gaining positions. I think it might have been Doug who forced him out wide. Doug causes him a little bit of contact there. Volschweitzer's lost a few positions behind Petrolhead, but Bo Fishadara leads. Tyson 2nd, Shadow and through the first half a lap.
Overall pretty clean. Of course, there was a little bit of a Constantino effect as I think both Viper and Reds are lagging, so I think that might be a little bit bad, obviously, on their side. Of course, you know, I think they're both in the same room, of course, being brothers. But yeah, of course, Tice not being able to get past Bo, which I think was very, very surprising. It just looked like he just didn't stick in the slipstream, which is not very tactical, I would say. But then I guess he would kind of want to stay in the slipstream maybe and save some fuel. Of course, he knows he's got Shadow and Rotary behind his 2 teammates and Viper. And then, of course, T5 Black is all the way down to 7th after quite a bad performance from him in qualifying, as he's gaining on Splash, going towards Blanchimont, but he's backing off here, not really overtaking opportunity. But then possibly there is an overtaking opportunity going into the bus stop. He goes to the outside, Splash goes defensive, but
Petrolhead
on the brakes. Petrolhead goes on the inside. And he's cut the corner. You might get reset for that. Yeah, he got reset. I don't know if there was contact there, but or Petrolhead just literally messed up his braking. But now T5 has been compromised by that, and now Doug is right on his backside.
Yeah, Doug just making a little bit of contact, I think, with C5 Black coming through La Source for the 2nd time. Petrolhead getting reset to track, not really that great. You can see those tyres are really worn already, and he is really struggling as Doug in this car now begins to come onto the back of Black. Of course, he's in the Viper, not in a car. He's in the Viper, and he's chasing down the Mercedes of Black. TSR against SDM. Well, Costa Racing he is now. Costa Racing seems to get... Look at the toll that he's getting, Doug, as he rides on board with him now, coming down in towards Lecombe. Surely this is a done deal for Doug. Down the inside line. Black hung out to dry. Hair Racers in behind as well. So he's done a bit of Costa sandwich, but Doug is through, and he's up into 7th. Really good racing there. And the champion gets outgunned by one of the oldies on the grid. Hair Racer just in behind him as well. Volschweitzer in 10th. Looking at through the field though, Bo Fishadara leads 4/10 of a second as he comes through, no name for the 2nd time. Tyson 2nd, Shadow in 3rd, Rotary in 4th. Rotary seems like he's quicker out of these guys. Of course, he's in the Mercedes compared to Shadow, of course, in the Aston ahead. Viper 5th, Splash in 6th, Doug in 7th, still holding up a bit of a train with Black and Hair Racer in behind. Volschweitzer beginning to join in this as well. Tap in 11th, Bar in 12th, Petrolhead in 13th, and we have lost a driver, which is Reds, I think, out of the race.
Yeah, he said that he might back out after he was told that he was lagging. I was in the race with him yesterday, and it was quite terrifying. So I'm not sure if he did that just to maybe help the connection for his brother Viper. As I just saw, I think that's Splash who went purple. Maybe, I'm not really too sure. Of course, it's only 2nd lap, so I think everyone's probably going purple. Yeah, Doug Doug sort of holding everyone back here, holding a little bit of a train with his teammate Hairraiser, and holding a nice little sandwich for T5 Black. But yeah, I've noticed at the top four, Rotary's saving quite a bit of fuel. Shadow has used up a bit more fuel, and out of the top four, Bo has used the most amount of fuel, I believe. Of course, there's not much in it, probably about a couple litres, but obviously, you know, this is a 90-minute race, and strategy, I think, especially Bo knows, strategy is what's going to win or lose it out on track. Of course, he knows he's got the pace, and I think he knows that Tice isn't going to cause any stupid incidents or anything, or go for stupid dives, as I think... as I'm not really too sure if he's going to go for a move here, as he's sticking the slipstream. Bo goes defensive, and Tice backs out of it.
Yeah, doesn't want to go for the move. Rotary's just been let through as well by Shadow, so Rotary now up to third, Shadow fourth. Just running bolt there on my end, certainly. Bullschweizer's just been overtaken by Hairraiser, going around the outside of Lecom. Hairraiser threw his up into ninth. I was about to say, Bullschweizer got the move done on Hairraiser, but Hairraiser comes back at him, and a good fight ensuing between the Swiss and the Brit out on track. 9th and 10th, Reds leaving the session there. We thank him, though, for attending throughout this season, and, of course, he'll be back in the commentary box next week for the MX5 Championship, which, if Palmer has got his wheel right, I could be fighting as that. Speaking of fighting, Splash tries to go down the inside of Viper and towards Puon, doesn't commit the move though, but Splash looking quicker than Viper. Viper lagging slightly, which might just cause Splash to be backed up here into Doug, into Black as well, and Black is right on the back of Doug. Will it be back in Black for Black? You'll only get that if you're an ACD fan. ACDC fan, even.
And he goes side by side with Doug. I think T5 really wants to get a move on here, as he's getting really held up as he goes off onto the rumble straights, almost onto the gravel. Almost onto the gravel. I'm not sure if you can get a penalty, maybe, if you go off the curb there, as he's going to the outside. This is going to be quite a risky move. But I think he's probably got straight line speed for it, as they get very close going through there, and Doug backs out of it. Doug backs out of it, so that is 7th place for T5, and I think now, and also Splash has got past Viper. I've only just seen that. I don't know if that was maybe team orders or if he got past that before Blanchimont. But yeah, I think T5 can now start to get back up the pack.
Tice on the back of both for Shadara. Lap 4 has just begun of this 1.5 hour race, of course. Not sure how many laps we're expecting though in terms of the time out on track. Both Shadara leading though from Tice in second. Tice is just looking ominously behind both Shadara at this stage. Rotary there in third, Shadow in fourth, and now Tice has got a great run up through Arouge and Radion, and now he's going to try and close in on the back of both Shadara, who of course is using more fuel than Tice at this stage. I don't think Tice is going to go for the move, or is he going to go around the outside of Lecombe? He's purple in the first sector, both Shadara hanging on. What is this going to do though? What is Tice's plan here? Because Rotary's on the back of him. Shadow's dropping off 1.3 seconds. He's got a 10th penalty as well that he still needs to serve up, of course. Don't think we had the penalties put in either, so guess use it anywhere around the track in terms of the penalty zone. I certainly haven't seen the penalty zone. Both for Shadara, Tice, Rotary though, your top three. Rotary looking quicker than Tice, which is quite interesting, but is Rotary going to bring Tice onto the back of both for Shadara and use the side max team tactics here?
They're on the same amount of fuel as well. Of course, Bo is using quite a bit of more fuel, of course, not having the advantage of slipstream and that. But yeah, they're on the same amount of fuel, and of course, Rotary, of course, you know, set purple lap time. Fastest lap was 16.8 last lap around, and he went faster in the first sector on this lap. And Tice is starting to drop back from Bo, so I reckon, I don't know whether there would be any team orders or not, or if this is just like Tice trying to save a bit more fuel for strategy later on. Tice is now outside of the slipstream range, only being 9 tenths behind Bo. So I don't know whether there will be a move or team orders yet, but it is surely costing Rotary some time. I've
got to be honest, if I was in Tice's shoes, I would just let him through. Rotary is quicker Rotary is quicker than you. Tice out on track. Bowl leading from Tice in second, Rotary in third. Lap 5 now just beginning, and Rotary really now on the back of Tice, trying to get this moved on. Of course, Rotary used to race in Project Cars 2 back in the day. I used to commentate on him back in the day as well, which was fantastic. And Ethan Graham, to give him his full name, is really hounding the back of Tice out on track. But can he get the move done? I mean, look, 1.1 seconds. He would be out of DRS range if this was Formula 1. But Tice gets caught on the grass. He gets a quicker run than Rotary this time around up the hill. Shadow's just dropping off because of the field, because of his lack of pace, it seems, as well. Here comes Rotary, though. This is the opportunity for him to try and get a move done. But no, he uses the team tactics up to good effect. It's not... I don't like to see team tactics, to be honest, between these guys. I just want to see some fair racing. I think Tice and Rotary will be the epitome of clean racing out on track if they were deciding to battle.
Yeah, obviously fuel is everything, so I think they're kind of letting Bo go ahead and, you know, letting themselves sort of save more fuel and seeing if they can get past in the pit stops.
Viper lagging off track massively there. Goodness me, I thought he teleported into, well, I don't know, the Dutch border, I guess. Goodness me, he just caught my eye. He went massively wide. That's the worst bit of lag I've seen, certainly from Viper. He's just got to be careful as well, cause look who's catching him. Black, right on the back, trying to be back in black for 6th. Yeah,
Viper lagging around. Seems like every single corner. It's like he's going wide every single corner.
Herreza and Doug going side by side there. Herreza now through. I think Doug got caught wide coming out of Poo-on, if I'm not mistaken. Herreza now through and he's up into 8th. Sorry, Palmer, I cut off you there.
No worries. Yeah, I think T5 will have to be a bit careful. Of course, you know, in the slipstream. That lag looks very, very dangerous. Of course, I've been in an incident with Viper's lag, and it's not very nice. But hopefully it holds on as he tries to go round the outside, late on the brakes, going into, I think that's like a little bit of a lag tap. I'm not really too sure. It sounded like a bit of contact, and Viper keeps the place.
Viper does keep the place for now. Black has just got to be careful. He'll probably complain about it, I guess, if he was to come into the interview room, of course. Black would be complaining, I think, with Viper at this stage of the race. But Viper against Mercedes, running down the hill in towards Rouge and Radion, you've got to be really, really cautious going through this section out on track. Just see there at the top of the hill, that was Rotary going on the back of Tice, I think, out on track. So they're fighting for position. Viper is absolutely all over the shop, coming through Rouge and Radion. This is Black's chance, and you can probably already see what's going to come. In fact, Black picks up a penalty. 5-10 penalty. I think Viper also picked up a 5-10 penalty, just for reference in that as well. So they both take the same line. Black trying to go around the outside, but it's impossible to try and overtake with this lag. Viper is 6th. Black in 7th. Viper, though, under pressure still from Black. He could try and get the run down in towards Bruxelles, and he's going to try and look into the inside line. He's got to try and dive bomb this down the inside. Viper lagging down on the outside line. Here comes Black. Through he goes. Brilliant stuff by Black. Viper hung out to dry in the end. Lag or not, Black gets an easy move done around the outside. He runs wide. Viper lagging his way around the corner as well. But Black is through and he's up into 6th. How important is that for his championship, or for his charge through this race?
They both go wide through Poo-on. Yeah, that is very, very important, of course. And now he can start to charge up and try to get back up to Splash. Of course, losing quite a lot of time in that battle, and of course he will lose some more time having to serve the 5-10 penalty.
Tice has let through Rotary. Tice has let through Rotary for 2nd. Rotary now ahead of Tice. We saw them battling up the top of the hill through Rouge and Radion. Not sure if there was an overtake done, but Rotary's through and he's up into 2nd. Tice now 3rd. Shadow in 4th. Splash is getting quicker as well. He's only 4.7 seconds off the lead, and he is beginning to come into this as well, as now Tice is on the back of Rotary. These guys want to help each other out, but they're still losing time to Bo.
Yeah, I think Tice has got less fuel, so I think that switch was mainly meant for fuel. Because since last time I looked at Rotary, he has gained about 2/10 on Bo. Bo's got quite less fuel than Rotary and Tice. Going into lap 7, of course, quite a long race. We haven't even got 15 minutes into this race. So yeah, of course, it's gonna be very interesting how this plays off. Very, very good action so far. throughout the whole field. Of course, now it's starting to spread out, and yeah, hopefully this race will become better and better.
Look at Rotary, 1.1 seconds. That gap is coming down. The Mercedes now quicker than the Audi, of course. The Audi is very strong through the corners. The Mercedes not so strong, but I would expect that gap to come down on the next 2 or 3 laps and Rotary to try and have a go at Bo before the pit stops come. Tice is there in 3rd, Shadow was in 4th, Splash in 5th, there's Black in 6th, Viper in 7th, who had a moment coming out the final corner on the start of this lap. Heroes Renee dug in 9th, Volschweiter 10th, Petrolhead in 11th, Tap in 12th, and Bar in 13th, clearly been struggling with his right front tyre because it looks like he's actually either spun or been overtaken out on track. He's now 12.9 seconds behind Tap, and he's down in the last position, currently out on track. Rotary, Tice, currently the battle we're on board with. 2nd and 3rd, the 2 Brits. Of course, Side Max debuting their 2021 livery here tonight as well. There's a mistake on one of them. I wonder if you can spot which one.
Well, that's a bit bad because I made them.
I'm sure. Was it somebody else that you were saying had the livery? And they put the wrong number on. Was it Shadow's livery?
I don't know. I think, well, Tice said Shadow's number was number 68, so I'm not really too sure about that.
He is coming through our camera shot, and he is number 68. So, yeah, I might be just making things up there.
Yeah, of course, it's an outdated livery. I didn't realise he was racing today, so I couldn't make the updated livery. So I'll definitely make sure that's alright for next time we have the GT3s. Yeah, that gap's not really coming down between Rotary and Bo. It's actually gone up as Rotary gets very, very sideways out of the final chicane. Yeah, 1.2 seconds. Bo is actually keeping that gap pretty secure. Of course, the fuel is still a situation, but it's not too bad of a margin between them. Of course, and he's actually extended the gap through there. Tice with his hazard lights on as usual. Don't really know why he does that. Technically, it should drain the battery out. It's Rotary goes wide, going through Radion, and that will be a 5/10 penalty. So I think that would definitely mean that probably Tice will want to get past, maybe. Yeah, here we go. He goes to the inside. I think that's definitely
let him through.
There you go. He lets him through, and he goes purple as well. So yeah, that's a 5/10 penalty. As he also collects the bollards on the inside there. Of course, that slows you down. The bollards have very, very weird physics on this game. I think they are truly just there just to slow you down, because obviously, you know, you shouldn't be cutting corners. But yeah, and also, you know, Bo, 1.4 seconds again. So yeah, not really. It's kind of like a pendulum in a way. Like the two Mercedes of Tice and Rotary sort of like gain a little bit, and then Bo just goes faster again.
Tell you what, Splash is right on the back of Shadow as well, running down in towards the Campos section, but I think Shadow is going to hang on for 4th for now. Splash, though, has really picked up the speed and has got he's got more fuel than Shadow. Shadow really burning away that fuel, same with the Audi. Aston and the Audi tend to burn away the more fuel, I think, out on track, and that's why you're going to be seeing maybe earlier pit stops compared to Tice, compared to Rotary out on track. Here comes Splash, though, on the back of Shadow. Is Shadow a former Shadow of his former self? That really didn't work, did it, because of his debut. Splash now on the back of for 4th and 5th place. Goodness me, if I can get my words out. Black's 3.5 seconds away as well, so he's not too far off, but he's still got a little bit of catching to do until then. Splash still on the back of Shadow. We should see the first round of pit stops, I think, happen from around next lap, I would imagine. Certainly for Bo and Shadow's case, I think.
Yeah, perhaps. Yeah, I think around like 10 laps. And of course, the tyres are not looking very good as well. But actually, I never thought I'd be saying this, but Bo's tyres actually look better than the Mercedes tyres. Which is yeah, not what I thought I'd say with a mid-engine car in this game. Is
Rotary fuel saving? Or has he made a mistake? Because he's now 2.1 seconds off the back of Tice.
Yeah, he had to serve his penalty at the exit. But yeah, he let off, and the penalty didn't serve straight away. So
Here comes Splash.
Yeah, he's lost 2 seconds.
Here comes Splash on the back of Shadow, and he's got to sail on by the Mercedes so much quicker than the Aston in a straight line. Gives him a little bit of a love tap, but not quite close enough to try and repay the favour. But Splash is through, and he's up into 4th. The Lithuanian now ahead of the Dutchman out on track. Splash in 4th, Shadow in 5th. Black there in 6th, just about to come into our camera shot there. He's 3.1 seconds off the back of Shadow and still catching. So Black trying to gain on the back of Shadow and of Splash. He's already wrapped up the championship. If this was still a championship battle between Black, Tice and yourself, Palmer, then I'm sure you'd be in a scenario where you would be racing out on track with those pedals rather than sitting with me commentating on the action. But I wouldn't have it any other way here tonight. Bo leading from Tyson 2nd, Rotary in 3rd. We're about to start lap 10, and we're about to see, I think, the first pit stop being made. Splash looking quite low on fuel as well. Shadow's got about 10 litres of fuel left, I would imagine, in that car. Bo is around the same level as well. I think they can sneak the lap out of it, possibly.
Possibly, yeah, but you know, of course, it's crucial with this pit stop. Of course, Tyson Rotary will definitely gain a little bit of time in the pit stops, because they have to fuel a little bit less than Bo. But Bo is starting to extend that gap. He's extended it by about 3 tenths on this lap to 1.8, I think, as he breaks there. They are going for one more lap as we cross over the line with 1 hour and 9 minutes to go.
I was going to say, if we had 1 minute and 9 minutes to go, then goodness me. Shadow's trying to go side by side with Splash. Goodness me. I think he said 1:16 instead of 2:16 earlier on as well, if I'm not mistaken, in qualifying. But I'm just throwing it out there. Splash in 4th, Shadow in 5th. Black is still 2.4 seconds away. There he is in the background of shot and catching. Splash, though, and Shadow. Splash against Shadow. Who is going to be the one to try and get the move done, or to retake the position, or to defend the position, in fact? Shadow now with less than 10 litres of fuel in that car. He's going to be wanting that car to go a little bit longer into the race, but he's not closing up. The Aston's really not responding to the pressure of the Mercedes, and the speed of that Mercedes is just so paramount and so quick compared to Shadow, and Splash holds on for P4. Rotary, of course, good spot. Of course, he had to serve up his penalty, so that's why he's came back to him slowly. Black, though, 2.4 seconds in behind, just looking further down the field. We have seen pit stops, actually. Doug has came into the pit lane. Barr is just recently into the pits. Doug cuts across, runs wide, actually. I think he's just came out the pit lane. Down there in 11th. 43.5 seconds off the pace. You can tell him, I think, he's trying to get heat into the tyres, actually. He might be just weaving and saying, no, James, don't ride on board with me, because I just made an absolute cock-up out of that corner. Cock-up. Doug, though, still in 11th for now.
Yeah, of course, I don't think they saved enough fuel, or this might be an undercut attempt, maybe. I think Doug was right behind Hairraiser. I think Hairraiser's had quite a solid race, and of course Viper, who was literally right ahead of Doug, I think. I think he's still lagging, but of course there's no threat with anyone around him. He's kind of in no man's land. Yeah, I think we should see. I think we'll definitely see Bo, Tice, Rotary, and everyone coming into the pits this lap. As Bo, there you go, he goes into the pits, avoids the bollard as he slides into the pits. That shows the tyres were really going off there, and you see there only 3% of fuel is the difference between them. But of course that will make a difference, actually. Of course, yeah. Also, it does depend where they stop refueling. T5 actually stays out. Actually, T5 Black stays out, so he can go out for another lap. So that means he'll have to. So that means he'll be able to refuel less. And also Viper staying out as well. Hairraiser with 11 litres of fuel, so that should put him out possibly ahead of Doug. I'm not really too sure where he was in relation to Doug. Yeah, all the pit stops happening now, and it's 1.3 seconds between Bo and Tice, and Rotary has lost a bit of time to Tice.
It's going to be very close on exit, I think, between Hairraiser and Doug. I think Hairraiser has just got ahead of Doug, so now he's in 8th position. Doug there in 9th as they run through a Rouge and Radion once again for the 11th time out on track. Hairraiser 8th, Doug in 9th, but now Doug closing in on the back of Hairraiser. These two good friends, of course, both part of the same team. Are we going to see an inter-team rivalry out on track here in Spa? Look at the closing speed of Doug. Is he going to try and send one down the inside? You bet he will. Hairraiser has to back out. In fact, he gets onto the marbles on the outside. It's easier said than done, and Doug is through and he's up into 8th. Pretty easy stuff indeed. Hairraiser now 9th, but Doug is through and he's up into 8th. Shadow, by the way, came out a second behind Splash. Tight, I noticed, put in slightly less fuel than Bo. It was about 2 litres less, but is Bo going to try and save up a little bit of fuel at this opening? Well, after the first pit stop, he's got to try and save, I think, a little bit of fuel to try and be in line with Tice later on in the race. I would be, honestly, at this point, trying to dice my way through the controls and to try and change the fuel going through each of the corners, especially through the middle sector where you can save up a lot of time. But Bo seems like he's getting on with things, and the gap is now back out for second.
Yeah, of course, Bo with about 3% difference in the pit stops. So I think, of course, yeah, like you said, he will want to change that, as he did lose a little bit of time. T5 Black goes into the pits with 2% of fuel, and I think also Viper will come into the pits. I think we're around 2% as well as he comes in. Oh, 3%, damn it. And Hairraiser's right in the back of Doug again. I think, of course, Hairraiser's tyres have got back up to temperature, and of course now he's back in the slipstream as they go into the bus stop chicane, as it's definitely closed up again after that pit stop.
You know these two are going to have a good battle, Doug and Hairraiser. These two, of course, have been really, really good friends for, I think, a few years now in the GT Sport Racing community. I don't know why I thought of the gym when I said both of them there. As now, actually, that is Viper coming out the pit lane, and that is Hairraiser and Doug going past them. And Viper now is under pressure because he's got the other Vipers ahead. Doug and Hairraiser have jumped Viper in the pit lane. Or as Hairraiser has a right moment coming up the hill, and now Viper begins to try and close him down. Of course, he's got colder tyres than the two in front, but a three-way Viper battle. I wonder, after this one, who's going to be ending up in the snake pit.
Viper with the overcar, it looks like it didn't really work, to be honest. Of course, yeah, he is going to have colder tyres, but I think he is definitely quicker than Hairraiser and Doug, as he's right on.
He gets caught on the bollard!
Sideways, he gets caught on the bollards there, and that slows him down and costs him a couple tenths, I think. As Hairraiser almost into the back of Doug. We've seen that a couple times over the past when these two have been together.
Bofa Shadara has been overtaken by Tice. Tice is now in the lead. I don't know what's happened. Tice is now in the lead of the race. 1.5 seconds. Bo in second. Bo's fuel saving. Bo is fuel saving out on track. He's got more fuel than Tice. He's done exactly what I predicted him to. And Tice is now in the lead of the race. Bo is fuel saving to be on line with Tice later on in this stint. And crucial, Tice now leading by a second, but Bo Fishadara is not going to give up without a fight, and he's got more fuel to play with than Tice. Probably, I would say, nearly 5 litres of fuel, possibly inferior.
I'm not really too sure if it's fuel saving or if he made a mistake, because looking at the sector times, Tice's second sector was 1 minute 1.695, and Bo Fishadara's was a 1 minute 3.274. So that's quite a large difference. Bo
came out the pit lane with 100 litres of fuel. Tice came out the pit lane with 98 litres of fuel. So Tice is obviously 2 litres less, but Bo, I think, has got an element of fuel saving, maybe, I'm not sure. Petrolhead has now left the session, he's left the room. There's the driver way down the field is Bar, being promoted, I think, by I Find Info there on the side of his car, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure if that's a real website or not, but you can go and check that out. He'll get his 10 seconds worth of airtime, I think, now down in 12th position. Tice leading the way, though. Bo Fishadara second, Rotary in third, Splash in fourth, pulling away from Shadow in fifth. Black not really responding to pressure in sixth, but Doug, Hairraiser, Viper, It's only going to be 2x2. Are we going to get 3 wide? I think we're going to get at least Hellraiser through on Doug. And he's now back through and he's up into 7th. This Viper battle really, really heating up.
Viper was very, very sideways going through Eau Rouge, and he got on the curb at Radion, and it sort of spat him out, and he got onto the rumble strips. I'm quite surprised he didn't pick up a penalty for that. And of course, I think he's probably got their size. There's a little bit of contact, I believe, going through. I can't remember what that corner is.
Bruxelles.
Bruxelles, yes, that's what it is. Yeah, I think this is definitely the closest battle on track. Of course, it is quite, and also, of course, I had the lead. I was just checking there, and Bo is now back in the slipstream of Tice, and Rotary is now 1.7 seconds, so he's put that back.
Viper nearly going side by side. He's down the inside of Doug. There's a bit of contact. I think Viper is going to have to serve up. He served up his penalty. He lost the position. Yeah, and he actually spins. That's so unfortunate for Viper. Spins after serving up his penalty. And I think with an hour to go, that is the end of his chance trying to pursue his way through the field. Viper, sadly, just spinning the car. It almost looked like, to be honest, he got the car back under control and then it spun again on him. So such an absolute shame for Viper, and I would not be surprised if he actually retires from that race after that.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. It's very, very easy to do, especially around, especially around a very long circuit like this. Of course, we're already half an hour into this race. Of course, last week we would have already been halfway through this race, but of course it's a 90-minute race, so we're only a third of the way, and that's actually Volkswagen behind Viper now.
It is indeed. Sorry, I'm just eating a bit of chocolate. Volkswagen in 10th, Viper in 9th. There's a bit of dairy milk still in my mouth, so I'm trying to eat and commentate at the same time. Here comes Bo, though, on the back of Tice, not quite close enough. Tice leading Bo in 2nd, Rotary in 3rd, Splash in 4th, as I clear the remnants of my dairy milk that I've just had. Shadow's 5th and Black in 6th position. But Bo right on the back, 3.5 tenths away, running down in towards Bruxelles corner. I nearly forgot that, and Bo's made a mistake. Bo makes a mistake, slight twitch on the exit of Bruxelles, and now that brings Rosary possibly back into play. Bo just looks like he's trying to push, but he's pushing too hard, and Tice is getting away from him now.
Yeah, I think of course, you know, he's got a bit more fuel in there, so I think he's able to push more. And I think, yeah, the capabilities of that Audi sort of got away from him there. Very, very easy to do. Of course, I did some laps in the Audi, and yeah, it's very, very easy to do. It can be so stable, and then you have one little snap, and it just goes. But yeah, he's managed to gain back some of that time. And of course, yeah, Rotary has actually Rotary has actually got that gap a little bit more down to the front too. But yeah, of course. He's got less fuel than Bo, but Tice has actually got less fuel than the both of them. So I wonder how that's going to go throughout the rest of this stint.
It is really going to be fascinating, and the only way you can find out is by still tuning in to our stream. We have got 57 minutes to go. Go and grab yourself a bit of popcorn. Rotary runs out wide there, coming through the bus stop chicane. Go and grab yourself a bit of popcorn. I'm just grabbing some love hearts now that I'm going to have in just a second to try and keep me going. Tice is leading from Bo Fischadora in 2nd, Rotary 3rd, Splash in 4th. Splash is catching, I think, to be honest, on the back of Rotary. 4.5 seconds, he gets so close to the wall coming through La Source. Now loses a little bit of time because of that. 4.6 seconds is the gap. But Splash, if he can get the second half of this stint right, I think he'll be on top of these guys by the end of it.
Yeah, he's also got more fuel than Rotary. I think he has definitely got more consistency in there, I believe. And of course, I think as Rotary, gets towards the dirty air of both Fischadora and Tice ahead of him, I think, of course, he will start to struggle. Of course, tyres are a big factor as well, but everyone's tyres just seem to be pretty similar out there. And yeah, and of course, I've just noticed as well, T5 Black is only 1.4 seconds behind SMM Shadow. So that's going to be quite interesting. Shadow's got quite a bit less than of fuel and T5 Black as well. So yeah, that's going to be interesting how that goes. Also, I realised as well, Doug made, I think, quite a large mistake on lap 13. 2 minutes 20 he set, while Jerez has set a new personal best of 2 minutes 17. So yeah, so I wonder what happened there. I don't know if it was... Oh wait, hang on, no, I know what it was. It was Viper going into Doug. Okay, I just had a little little brain fart there. But yeah, it's good. And Bo right on Tice's rear end.
Gotta be honest, 8.9 seconds separating the top 6 out on track is not too bad, being that we're nearly towards the halfway stage here in SRS GT3 series.
Rotary's got a penalty. Sorry, yeah. So that's gonna put Splash right up close to him, probably within about 1.5 seconds.
Speaking of up close, Bull's right on the back of Tice running into the bus stop chicane. He's not going to be close enough though. Still Tice leading, Bull in second, Rotary in third, Splash in fourth. Rotary now, with that 5-10 penalty, elect the server here and not lose his pace, and he's not going to be... Well, he is still going to be in third position. You can probably hear me chewing now on a love heart. Rotary third, Splash in fourth position. I have been told to put the sweets down, by the way. They're just so tempting, honestly.
Only 1 second between Rotary and Splash now. I think, especially with Splash, I mean, he's been pretty fast this stint, especially this stint. But yeah, he's been quite consistent in the 2 minute 17s. He did lose a bit of time through Eau Rouge. As Bo Tice side by side. Bo's got a penalty, and Tice runs off wide.
Trying to go around the outside of the column. Can he try and get the move done? He's still going to be there, but Tice holds on. Tice holds on. I think Bo just got hit by the bollard there and he's served up 2/10 of his penalty, which is not too bad at all. Can serve up, I think, to an extent, your penalty around this track. Look at Splash as well. Sorry, Black on the back of Shadow running down into Bruxelles. They're 5th and 6th.
Yeah, this race has come alive right now as I think... he tries to go down the inside! That's very opportunistic, and luckily he backs out there. Of course, it's not really an overtaking opportunity there, even though there was the gap. But yeah, that was never going to happen. Yeah, 2 attempts. I did say that T5 was coming... Well, yeah, was coming up to the back of Shadow, but yeah, that was... he's definitely got onto the back of him quicker than what I expected. There's so much going on. I think you're probably glad that I'm here with you, just to check this out. Even though I'm not very keen on the eye. Yeah, I wonder if T5 is going to get past Shadow on this straight going towards Blanchimont. He's literally less than a tenth as he goes to the inside, but I don't know if he's got... No, he hasn't got enough. He hasn't got enough straight line speed. That Aston Martin's pretty good in a straight line, but he goes back. He lifts off there, as of course, yeah. There's no chance going side by side.
He's got to go down the inside of the bus stop here. Round the outside.
Shadow defends. He tries to go round the outside. We've already seen him do this, but Shadow late on the brakes.
Final corner.
Good defence there from Shadow.
Final corner, we get him on the exit of the corner. Gets a better traction. Black to the inside line now, running right on the back of Shadow. Shadow has got, quite literally, Shadow right behind him, and that is the champion Black right on the back of him. Shadow goes too deep, I think, into turn 1. Black down the inside line, but Shadow holds on for 5th. Black in 6th position. As you say, this race is coming alive. Splash is on the back of Rotary. Bo trying to get onto the back of Tice as well. 5/10 of a second separating the top 2. Currently out on track. Really good battling up and down the field. Certainly within the top 6. Black now on the back of Shadow. This is the opportunity surely for Shadow to be overtaken by Black. Black to the outside line. Shadow is going to put up a hard defence, and they're both side by side. Black tries to cut him off at the pass. Shadow is still there down the inside line. Really good defensive driving from Shadow, and he retakes the position. Black just nearly hung him out to dry. Didn't get close enough. And Shadow is back through, and he's up into 5th position. Really, really good racing from Shadow there.
Yeah, great battle there. Of course, there was a bit of rubbing, but of course, as they say, rubbing is racing. Of course, it didn't cause any harm. Both of them keeping their lines, and I actually thought Shadow was going to overshoot the corner, but he managed to keep it on there, on the track, or the black stuff as Martin Brundle likes to call it. But yeah, the top 6 are pretty much all in their own battles. Bo is right on the back of Tice again. He, you know, even though he got that penalty, he's right on Tice's back. It seems to be that middle sector where he gained so much, and he literally pushed him. He literally pushed Tice through Savalo, and I think that did definitely cost him a little bit. And Splash within 2/10 of Rotary.
It's going to be quite fascinating. Bo on the back of Tice. Can he get the move done in towards the bus stop? Let's try and bob with him and see if he can pull it off. No, he hangs on tight. We're nearly at the halfway stage. Tice leading. Rotary still hanging on for third as well behind Splash attacking. And now Black to the outside line of Shadow. Tries to go around the outside this time. Shadow is still there on the inside. Great traction off the corner. And Shadow is back through and he's up into 5th position once again. Black cannot find a way through. It's almost as if he's granting them 5th position at this stage.
I mean, they do call the Aston Martin a bit of a big boy, and Shadow is definitely showing it with that wide rear wing. And yeah, like the Aston Martin is very good on traction, and of course that was shown as Doug comes into the pits. I think he's a bit off sequence to everyone else with 50 minutes to go.
Oh, hang on.
16.
Sorry to cut in. I thought Bull was closing up on Tice. I'll let you get on though.
Yeah, of course he comes into the pits with 16 litres, and his tyres are pretty badly shot, to be honest, but I think everyone's in.
Oh.
It's just T5 going around the outside of Shadow again. He sets a purple sector. Oh, Shadow's a bit of contact, but T5 gets through. Brilliant.
He's still there.
Move there.
He's still there though, Shadow.
Move.
Really good move by Black. Shadow is still there though. Can he get the run down and towards Bruxelles? I don't think 2/10 is enough to try and close him down. He actually rear-ends him, I think, into the back there through Bruxelles. But Black has finally managed to find a way through, out on track. I've got to be honest and say these guys are actually catching the leaders as well. They're 8 seconds off the leaders. It was about 9. So Black is in 5th. Shadow is in 6th. Tice, though, still hanging on from both Fishadara, Rotary, Splash, 3rd and 4th position out on track. Well, I would say the conundrum. The crescendo is there. Bo goes to the inside line in towards Campus. Not quite close enough. Tice leads the way. Still, Bo is absolutely hounding the back end of him. Now, can the Audi get the run on the Mercedes? I think he has now. Trying to go around the outside of Orange Blanchimon. Tice, Bo, they're a little bit side by side. Bit of contact there. It's like BTCC. Tice down the inside line. Bo on the outside line, and Bo has to give up. But now, he's going to be on the outside line. Can he get the better traction out the final corner? He's got to think about going down the inside, but no. Tice leads the way from Bo in 2nd. Splash. Rotary just goes in a little bit too deep there and is under pressure from Splash and behind. Black, of course, is through and he's up into 5th on Shadow. But Tice still valiantly hanging on. Look at the run that Splash has got as well on Rotary. Is he going to commit it down the inside? No, he is not. Out on track. Tice though leading. Bo in 2nd. Rotary in 3rd position. And we're still not even at the halfway stage.
The top 4 are separated by 2.2 seconds. This is probably the closest race I've seen this season, and probably over the course of the SRS.
Look at Bo!
Yeah, Bo!
He's got an absolute insane run through the outside line. Now he's got the move done. Bo is ahead. An absolute sublime run up the hill through a Rouge and Radion. Tice is going to try and fight this back though around the outside, but Bo is through. He parks the car. He makes that Audi look as wide as possible. And Bo is through into the lead of the race. This is really beginning to hot up here. Tice in 2nd, Rotary 3rd, Splash in 4th. You said 2 seconds was the gap. It's now 1.6 covering the top 4. Look at this. Really great action out on track. There's a yellow flag. I think that might be Bar that is round if I'm not mistaken. But Rotary, Splash, 3rd and 4th, and just confirm that is Bar. He will be ghosted as they go through. He will probably get out of the way though. Volschweitzer and Tap side by side, and Tap's got the run down the hill and he's got up to 10th. So Tap is through as Bo's ran wide and Tice is through. Tice is into the lead of the race. Bo ran wide coming through Pouon. Such an unfortunate mistake to make, and it's such an unfortunate place to make it at. Tice though is re-handed the race lead.
Rotary getting onto the bollards there, and he actually got a little tap from Splash as he got slowed down as he runs wide onto the AstroTurf. This is brilliant racing, and Tice is now extending his lead. And of course Bo with that unfortunate mistake, of course I missed it. I'm guessing it was that at Pouon.
Yeah.
I'm guessing, yeah, running wide just a little bit. That is, yeah, and of course, you know, little mistake like that can lose you 1.3 seconds, as shown as Tice goes past Bar.
He does indeed. Tice leading the way from Bo in second, Rotary third, Splash in fourth, and Bar has spun again. Not being contacted there by Bo, of course, because he was ghosted. Splash, though, on the back of Rotary, as that, I think, was a pit stop being made there by Bar. In the background, here comes Splash on the back of Rotary. Not quite close enough down in towards turn one. Tice leading Bo in second, Rotary third, Splash in fourth. 2.5 seconds separating the top four. We are now officially pretty much at the halfway stage, as Tice leads now with a comfortable 1.3 second advantage after Bo making that mistake. Rotary there in third with Splash in fourth. We'll run down the order quickly. Black in fifth, Shadow sixth, Hairraiser seventh, Viper eighth, Doug in 9th, Volschweiter 10th, Tap in 11th, Bar into the pit lane in 12th position, as now Rotary is coming on the back of Bo. Can he try and get the move done around the outside? These guys will be into the pit lane this lap around. Rotary around the outside of Lacombe, surely not, round the outside, gets the move done, forces Bo out onto the marbles. Great stuff, and now Splash tries to go around the outside. He can try and switch it back down the inner, down in towards Bruxelles, but Rotary, great move by Rotary down the inside line, and he's through, and he's up into second position around the outside of Lacombe, then switching to the inside line through 6, gets the move done, and he's through, and he's up into second.
So committed on the brakes, on the steering, on the power, everything. Brilliant move. It's so easy to just dip your left wheels onto the AstroTurf on the inside of the second, on the left handle of Lacombe, and get the rear end out, but yeah, he managed to not do that, and now it's a side max 1-2.
And look at Black. Black is catching them. 5.9 seconds the gap. He's 3.5 seconds behind Splash. Yes, he's got a big gap to find, but the more these guys fall over each other, the more that Black is going to come into contention. Bo is really pressurising the back of Rotary once again. As the Mercedes of Splash runs out wide onto the AstroTurf, can he get the car rejoined? He can safely without spinning the car. Here comes Boldo, trying to go around the outside of Blancheron. If I've got to be honest, wait for the move to be done. He's got 10 litres of fuel. It might be enough to get him another lap, actually with Bo. And he now tries to switch the outside line. Now on the inside line, is he going to go for the move? He is going to go for the move. He commits it too much. He contacts the back of Rotary, and they're all filtering into the pit lane, and he lets Rotary go, which I think is the nicest thing. Black, though, continues on in the lead of the race. There he is, and he's still got, I think, another 2 laps in him.
Yeah, he's got about, what, 20... I reckon about 22%. Meanwhile, all of these guys are the... Jesus Christ. 5 of the top 6... all into the pits this lap. T5, I think, has definitely got more of an advantage there, as of course it's going to be interesting where everyone comes out. As Hairraiser comes into the pits as well. That'll be actually interesting where Doug comes out behind him or ahead of him. I'm not really too sure. As Bo comes out and he's actually lost time.
Oh, and
I think 1.7.
Splash is ahead of Rotary. Splash is ahead of Rotary, pretty much coming out the pit lane, and Rotary now, who I think has got 100% field, Splash has got 100%, so they both came out pretty much all over each other. Side by side, they're going to be up through a Rouge and Radion nearly. And now they are going to be side by side, running down towards Lecombe, down the Kemmel Straight, passing Dutch Corner there to the left-hand side. Splash in 4th, Rotary in 5th. 23.6 seconds to Black, who's in the lead now. Rotary is so committed around the outside. Can he try and get the move done? No. Splash hangs him out to dry. The Lithuanian is fighting, all guns blazing. Rotary does not want to get embroiled into a really hard battle with Splash. I think keep it clean, keep both cars on the track, and don't ruin each other's race.
It was shown when Splash was behind Rotary that if you just have some teamwork, and don't, of course they're not in the same team, but if you don't battle each other hard, then you can catch up to second and first ahead of them. Of course, theoretically, T5 isn't in first at the moment, but I think he did definitely catch up quite a lot, and I think he has definitely got an advantage on, I think especially Splash and Rotary after of course Bo and I think was it Rotary having quite a dramatic battle going into the bus stop chicane. It is actually going to be very, very interesting where T5 does filter out here, as
Ooh. Sorry, splashing the ball out there. Now Rotary's got a really good run, running down the inside of Blanchamont. Do you know what? I think he's going to be ahead even into Blanchamont, and he will be. Rotary takes full advantage. Oh, that's not needed at all. That is really not needed at all. Yes, it's getting over aggressive, but come on, you've got to keep it clean. And I think Sidemax is going to be looking on and saying that was not needed whatsoever. Rotary in 4th gets the move done. He had the move done even before the corner, and he still puts Splash out on pretty much to the AstroTurf. Really, really poor driving there from Rotary.
I reckon that will probably be under investigation because because Splash did definitely give him space, and he gave him enough room on the inside, and yeah, Rotary just completely swiped at him. I don't think it was on purpose, obviously, but it definitely wasn't necessary, and Splash is now out of the slipstream range, so I think that possibly might be investigated, and I am quite surprised that Splash didn't get a penalty for that, because obviously the penalty system on this game. But yeah, and I think Bo is starting to catch up on Tice again. When they left the pits, it was 1.7 seconds, that's 1.4 as it just went up by 2 tenths. So I think Bo just went a little bit late or deep into the corner. Yeah, it was all clean and all very good up until then, but yeah, very, very unnecessary, and yeah, not very, very nice to see. I think there might have to be a little bit of a debrief after that one.
Yeah, I've got to be honest, we saw it from Rotary's perspective there, trying to get the move done. He almost turned right into Splash. Yes, it's a left-handed corner, and you're going to be hanging off the camber, but really, that is not needed. It's now put Splash a second behind, when Rotary just makes nearly a mistake there. Splash right down the inner, coming through Pouon, and that gives Splash another go. This is not over and done with between these two. This is going to embroil possibly into SRS World War I, possibly out on track tonight if these guys aren't careful.
Yeah, hopefully that's not the case. I really want it to be nice and clean. Of course, still got 40 minutes left. You know, so they can. It's so easy for them to just throw it all away. Ooh. And of course, it was shown by how much time they've lost to Bo and Tice. And of course, you know, Bo extending his leads. T5 comes into the pits. It'll be very, very interesting to see where he comes out. I reckon he'll probably come out ahead of Rotary and Splash because of their battles and bashing around and that. Because it does depend how much fuel he puts in.
I'm not so sure. I think Black's going to come out behind these guys, possibly. Remains to be seen. He could come out right in the thick of the action and split these two, which is what I'm hoping, because it's going to make for a really good, entertaining watch for you guys as the viewers. That is Viper as well, coming into the pit lane. And behind there's a spinner, though, down at the bus stop, which, guess who? Bar has just spun. Black is coming out the pit lane, and, predictably, he's behind these two. So he was about, I think, 5 seconds off these guys. He's actually gained quite a lot. 1.8 seconds, 1.9 as he runs down towards Rouge and Radion. But Rotary third, Splash in 4th. Splash, can he try and make an impact out on track? The sort of impact that we want to see, and try and gain on the back of Rotary once again for 3rd and for 4th position currently. Tice leading from Bowen 2nd, Rotary 3rd, Splash in 4th. Black filling out your top 5. Of course, it is myself, James Head, and Ethan Palmer taking you through the action for the next 37 minutes and 35 seconds out on track. And you've still got all of the action still to come out on track.
Yeah, hopefully clean action as well. I just realised though, but I think Bo has definitely burned some more fuel than Tice, of course, trying to catch back up. So it's very, very different to last stint. Of course, last stint Bo saved a bit more fuel than Tice, so it's kind of like a pendulum in a way. It keeps changing. Of course, it's not by very much, but I felt like that will change possibly, and I think especially with the last pit stop coming in, of course that last stint would be very, very interesting. I think especially for these two young drivers.
Bo came out of the pit lane, I think 4 litres less than Tice. I'm sure it was 96 litres of fuel he came out with. And now, through Stavolo, he's responding. 0.7 of a second, personal best through the middle sector as well. Rotary, by the way, has got the fastest lap point at this stage, 2:16.8, of course. Out on track does award you the fastest lap point, whoever they might be. But Palmer, you're not getting the fastest lap point because you're still with me in the commentary box, unfortunately. Tice leading the way from Bo in 2nd, Rotary 3rd, Splash in 4th. Who are your bets on? Who do you want to win? Let us know, of course, in the comment section. The MX5 Championship, of course, starting next week. Look at Bo right on the back as he sets the new fastest lap of the race at 2:16.5. Literally, as I said, Rotary had set the fastest lap, but now Bo responds. Now he's right on the back of Tice. Takes the thinner line coming through La Source. Tice, though, quicker on the exit. Bo has got to try and respond now down the hill. He's got to be, I think, within about 0.3 of a second to try and have a go down in towards Lacombe. Who's going to be the quicker up the hill? Is it going to be Tice? Is it going to be Bo? It's Bo once again, and he's within 0.2, and now here he comes, right on the back. Is he going to wait in behind? I think he is. He backs off, and he tries to save a little bit of fuel, I think, running down in behind Tice, and it's Tice who leads the way from Bo in second. To be run now down in towards Lacombe once again. Tice runs over the bollard, but he still leads the way.
Wow, tactical stuff there from Bo. Yeah, of course, I think he is realising that, of course, you know, he does have less fuel. Of course, like you said, he did come out with like 96% of fuel. Of course, I think because he knew. Oh, he runs over the bollards. Actually, I think he got a little bit of air on my screen. So that's yeah, that's a bit odd from the game, but yeah, very, very close. Yeah, I'm not really too sure whether Tice is just struggling or if he's saving more fuel or not. But obviously, you know, 34. Well, yeah, just gone past 35 minutes left of this race. It's all to play for as they both hit the same bollard, going through the Fangish again.
Tice, though, yep, still 0.3 away. To be honest, Tice is trying to hold up Bo, so I think Rotary can get onto the back of these two. Splash, Black, not too far off the pace either. Here comes Bo. You can see, actually, he's already in 6th gear running down, so he is trying to save up a lot more fuel compared to Tice out on track. But is he going to still try and have a go with the slipstream? He backs off once again, down into 5th gear, and Tice runs away out in front 0.3 of a second now as he runs up into the bus stop. Bo is going to try and have a go, but he's just going to put him under a bit of pressure. And what this is doing is bringing Rotary, who ran very wide into the chicane there, into play. He's only 2 seconds off the back. Splash is not too far off. Black has just lost a little bit of time. I'm not sure if he's made a slight mistake maybe out on track, because he was about 1.5 seconds, I think, off the back of Splash. He has lost time. Black there in 5th. Shadow, really disappointing, I think, from his pace perspective, certainly. He's in 6th, but still doing a good job from the Sidemax team for the Aston Martins. Jerez is in 7th. Doug is into the pit lane, I believe, for his 2nd pit stop. So Doug is now in, and he's got 27.4 seconds was to the leader, and he's going to be probably behind, I would say, Viper at this stage. And Viper is on the back, or, well, I was going to say he's on the back of Volschweitzer, but it's not. It's Barr on the back of Viper, who has just been lapped out on track. Rotary's still there in P3, and then Splash still there in P4 as Rotary, as Bo has picked up a penalty.
Yeah, both pick up penalty. I did notice Rotary went wide into La Source, and I don't know what happened there, but I think Tice had a little bit of a tank slapper, and it sort of like, it looked like it kept on going. So I think he lost a bit of time there. Yeah, very, very interesting, as this pack has once again gone back into 2 seconds. It's amazing how this can change within a couple laps. T5 Black, I'm not sure if he's saving fuel or not, but he hasn't really gained much.
Tice weaving in front of Bo. Not sure what that was about. A little bit of a cockiness maybe from Tice there as he puts on. Actually, his thingy lights went off there. I swear they did. Anyways, Tice leading, Bo in 2nd, Rotary 3rd, Splash in 4th, 1.7 seconds, separating the top 4.
Yeah, Bo's got rid of his penalty. I think that might be probably because of how slow Tice is going. Like I said, Tice, I think, is definitely playing the team tactics here, but it's also brought Splash into play.
Here comes Bo.
Yeah, Bo round the outside. We've seen Rotary be able to pull us off, but Tice, as ever, very good on the brakes.
Rotary's right in the back of these two. He's just absolutely broken himself into the bus stop chicane, has landed himself on the back of Bo, and Tice now, leading the way, is going to come under a bit of threat. Rotary, though, is the first up on Bo. Bo tries to dive it down the inside. He knows what's going to happen. I think he's going to get corner sandwich, and Rotary's going to get the move done. Down the hill he goes, and he's going to get the move. Superboy has somehow joined this room. I don't know how, but Rotary is through, and he's up into second. Side max tactics playing off to perfection. Here comes Splash, though. Right on the back, Tice has a massive tank slapper running up the hill, and it now gives Rotary a run. It's going to be 3 wide, and Bo is going to try and look and overloop past both of them. Tice now giving the slipstream to Rotary. Rotary's being boxed in here by Bo. Splash is still in the back of this as well. Rotary down the inside. He retakes the lead. Oh my God, Bo! Oh! Bo was over the curb completely. That was air as if I've never seen it ever before here in the GT3 series. Bo is still in P3 after that really scary moment.
What can Bo not do in this Audi? I mean, he's showing the pace, he's got fastest lap, he's in P3, he's saving fuel, and he's just got some air. That is absolutely insane.
Not only did he do that, but he actually landed on the curb and still proceeded to take the corner normally.
Wow, that is absolutely insane. And I just realised though, top 4 separated by less than a second, and T5 Black is now only 2 seconds, 2 seconds behind them. Obviously he's got a fuel advantage as well, so he's definitely coming into play. Wow, that I can't believe what happened there.
Half an hour to go.
On the inside. Bo on the inside, and Rotary actually...
Rotary! Bo forces them out, though. It's going to be 3 1 into Blanchimon. Oh my goodness me! Rotary is getting the real elbows out on track. Look at Splash as well. Splash is gaining on Bo. Bo has hung out to dry by the 2 side max boys. This is getting over aggressive once again between these guys. I'm not sure what the tactics are, but they've got to keep it clean, and Splash is around the outside through Bo. That is clean, and what is even cleaner is he's got Rotary out of the final corner. It's now a drag race down towards La Source. Tice leading onto lap 27. Rotary second, Splash in third, Bo in fourth. Look at Black. Black has absolutely spawned into this race from absolutely nothing, and the top 5 are separated by 1.3 seconds. This is the closest race of the season by far.
Spa is delivering so much as usual. This is absolutely insane, and I just want to put your eye towards the fuel, because T5 Black has got a massive advantage here. If he pits on the same lap, I believe, as all the others, he should jump ahead, I believe, as Rotary gets past Tice again.
Yep, Tyson through there. I think Rotary through, and he's into the lead of the race. Tyson second, Splash in third, Bo in fourth, Black in 5th position. Now joining the party, 1 second separating the top 5 out on track. This is absolutely unbelievable. And who wanted Spa in the rain? I put this calendar together, and I didn't want Spa in the rain, and this is why. This is exactly the reason why we don't have Spa in the rain like last season, because it produces great racing like this. Yes, I might be getting over-aggressive, yes, I might be getting tactical, but Rotary leading the way, Tice second, Splash in third, Bo in fourth, Black in 5th, and that's a picture, 5 cars in the same camera angle.
Wow. Yeah, I wasn't really expecting this after the pit stops, because everyone was so separated. I mean, look, what, 1 sector of them going 3 wide, and T5 Black has gained about 2 seconds. That is absolutely insane, and that shows how much battling these guys have been doing, as Bo, I think, might be setting up for a move here. Of course, fuel is going to be a big factor. I think, especially going into this last pit stop, I think everyone's just kind of calming down now after that 3-eyed moment. As
or is it Black's down the inside of Bo? Came from an absolute mile back. Chandler's in, and Daniel Ricciardo he is, but Bo gets the elbows out, and he doesn't want to give up that position lightly. Great defensive driving by Bo. It's getting over aggressive, but that was the elbows out if I've ever seen it. Bo now still 4th, Black in 5th. Black tried all of this. Tice is holding up a right train, and it's letting Rotary get away out in front. So sidebacks now beginning to bring in their tactics, possibly to hold up Splash, to hold up Fushidara. and to hold up Black as well in 5th position. Rotary trying to escape out in front for possibly his debut win. He's a debutant, of course, in the SRS GT3 series, but is he going to find that Splash is going to get past Tice and get 2nd position? If I was Splash, I would go for it. Try and go for it down the inside, but he's not. He's more clever than me. Tice in 2nd, Splash 3rd, Bo 4th, Black in 5th.
Wow. Yeah, I think T5 Black would definitely want to get past all these guys, because with the fuel advantage and obviously, yeah, these guys have got to pit pretty soon. With their fuel, I think around sort of 30%, sort of that sort of region. Of course, yeah, absolutely wild stuff. It's quite good that it's calmed down. Of course, there's still a bit of contact, but you know, it's always going to be contact. T5 almost down the inside of Puon. That's never an overtaking opportunity. Wow. To be honest, I'm kind of lost for words. I didn't really expect this when I signed up for commentary. I'm not sure whether I want to be in this battle. Whether if I was racing, I would want to be in this battle because it's pretty intense. As I think Bo just made contact with Splash going to what's that called? Campus. Wow. Yeah, I'm kind of lost for words, to be honest. It's kind of like one of my interviews.
Join the fray, really, with this. 25 minutes to go. We've still got another round of pit stops to come. And now look at Black on the back of Bo. Is he going to try and produce the gun? Bo switches to the inside line. He doesn't want to give up this position lightly, but Black's going to cream cracker him around the outside, into the inside line through the bus stop, through turn 18, hands Bo out to try, and Bo spins slightly, but I've got to be honest, that was fair from Black. He pretty much gave the contact there. He pretty much gave little room. That's what Bo did to Black last time around, and Black does it to him back. I think, same principle, same scenario, Black 4th, Bo Fushidara 5th. Black, I think, deserved that, to be honest.
Yeah, Bo having a taste of his own medicine, and it came out worse for him. And I just realised that Rotary is now under massive pressure from Tice. I'm not really too sure whether he'll go for a move here. Of course, it's very hard to know with these side max boys. But yeah, Rotary is going for the inside.
Rotary's letting him through.
I think Rotary let him through there. Already almost tapped the hang on. Oh yeah, Rotary's got a penalty. So that will mean that Splash will definitely get past him. Yeah, with T5 Black there as well, it will probably be quite close up to Lecombe next lap.
I'll predict it now. T5 Black, Rotary will be side by side once Rotary's finished up that penalty. Running down into the source, I think, is where he'll serve it up. Down in towards turn 1. So Tice leading, Rotary is in 2nd, Splash in 3rd, Black in 4th. Bo Fushidara is responding really well, actually. I thought he'd spun and pretty much lost contention out on track. They're still battling, and it's still 2.2 seconds off the back of Tice for the race lead. Bo is not entirely out of this just yet, as Rotary serves up a tiny bit of penalty, comes out in front of Splash once again, but as Rotary gets caught wide coming in towards Campus, and now Tice leading, Rotary 2nd, Splash in 3rd, Black in 4th, Bo Fushidara in 5th. Shadow, you would imagine, has been catching up. He's not. He's really dropping the pace in 6th. Harris is there in 7th. Viper in 8th. Volschweiter and Doug are having a good battle, 9th and 10th. Tap in 11th and Bar rounding off the top 12, as still top 5 separated by about 2 seconds now out on track.
Oh, Splash runs wide. Splash ran wide through Blanchimont. That gives the advantage to T5.
Black.
Is T5 going to go round the outside?
No. Switch back.
Okay. Yeah, you might get a better run here, but of course Rotary goes off to the side, serving his penalty, and he's going to lose three positions. Look, that penalty is really cost him there. He was in the lead a couple laps ago.
Black's on the inside line of Splash. Gets us down the inside on the source and gets the move done. Black is through and he's up into 2nd. Opportunistic there from the champion, and he's through and he's up into 2nd. Splash though is not going to fight this. He will fight this back. Running down the hill and towards Rouge and Radion, but it's Tice who leads. Black in 2nd, Splash in 3rd, Bo Fushidara in 4th, Rotary in 5th. Somebody told me I'd be commentating on this for a season finale. Thank goodness me, I would have laughed at you, quite literally. But now Splash right on the back of Black, trying to reclaim the position. Look at Bowen behind as well, trying to make it 3 wide, running down in towards Lecombe. But Splash, is he going to try and cream him around the outside? Black is still there on the outside line. Really great defensive driving by the champion. And Black hangs Splash out to dry. Really, really, really good racing as Black gets caught out wide. But he's in second. And now we've got the battle. Tice, Black for possibly the race win. You said to me Black, who qualified down in 7th position, out on track tonight in qualifying, would be in a chance of winning this. Judging by his first stint, I would have again laughed. But he's now in second. He's only a second off the lead.
He was down in 8th at one point, fighting with Dog and Hairraiser. How on earth does this happen? He's saved up fuel. He's kept it clean while all these guys battled, and all of a sudden he's up there in second. It's exactly like Nürburgring. All of a sudden he's up there in the pack. It's absolutely insane, and I'm gonna miss this guy when he moves on to ACC on PC, because this is an absolutely fantastic drive from him. And I just realised Rotary is actually falling behind. He's actually out of the slipstream of both Hashidara, and both Hashidara.
Bo's going to be in the pits.
He's going to be in the pits, possibly on this lap.
He will be.
Yeah, because he's down in the red, which I think is 10%. I think, and also Tice is also in the red as well. So Tice only has about 10%. It'll be he's not going to the pits. Tice is not going to the pits, but Bo does.
And Rotary follows him in as well, and Bo's crashed into the pit lane, and then both crash into the pit lane. Bo, I think, crashed into the pit wall on the entry. It's false Rotary in the back. I wonder if they've both got damage, actually. Rotary hasn't, Bo hasn't either.
They don't have damage. Luckily, they don't have damage. That is a costly mistake, though. That is a costly mistake. It's so easy to do. It's such a tight pit entry, even though it teleports you to this little cutscene that we have. It's so tight going in there. I think especially with the rear end kicking out as he got into the power. But wow, there's even more chaos going on as Doug. Sorry, I got confused. Harry's into the pits as well as Shadow. 24 seconds is the gap. It'll be interesting to see where they come out after that incident. Splash right in the back of T5 Black, and it's only a second between T5 Black and Tice as well. So T5 Black is really, really on the edge here.
I'm going to tell you now, I think Bo might not make it to the end of the race. And I'll tell you why. Because he's got about just over 80 litres of fuel left. It's about 2 minutes a lap. 2 minute 19 a lap. Is he going to get to the end of this race with that fuel? Rotary has fueled up about 5 to 10 litres, but just putting a little bit of a phrase on it, 5 to 10 litres more than Bo in front of him. Is Bo going to struggle to
one lap?
Is Bo going to struggle to
Tice. Yeah, I got told by Tice before this that around 10 litres is around the lap around this track if you're not fuel saving. So that's going to be very, very tight, I believe.
So that's going to be, what, 7-8 laps to the end of the race? He's going to struggle. He is going to struggle big time.
This is... Hopefully it's not going to be what it was back in Red Bull.
Look at Tice, actually. Tice has only got 1 litre of fuel left. Trying to pinpoint it. He's going to be out of fuel. He's out of fuel now. Going into the pit lane. Is he going to run out of fuel? And is he going to hang these guys back? He is. Black continues on. But Tice is into the pit lane with hardly any fuel. How costly is that going to be? He's got no fuel. His car pretty much cut out on the pit entry. And now Bo and Rotary have got a massive chance to undercut him. Out on track. This is going to be so close. Tice, luckily, though, has got an advantage to put less fuel in. But Bo had more fuel than him when he came into the pit lane, and it's going to even itself out, I think. So Tice and Splash both into the pit lane, and now we'll watch Bo, because there is Bo running down the straight, down towards turn 1. Tice, is he going to be on pit exit? He will be on pit entry exit any second now, and he's going to be ahead by quite a margin in the end.
He's inside Splash. He's inside Splash. They're ghosting together.
Oh my god! And they're side by side coming out the pit lane, and Splash is out on the outside line. This is side by side in towards the Rouge and Radion. You're gonna have to back out, and Splash backs out. Really, really good stuff. Goodness me, PG18 now getting into GT Sport this season. Finale's got it all out on track, but now Splash closes in on the back of Tice. It's only a second to Bo and Rotary in behind as well, but now Tice and Splash side by side. Splash is on, possibly for the race win.
I'm not really too sure, but that 4% advantage, or that 4% advantage that Splash had in his fuel tank, meant that he could literally come out level with Tice. I've never seen that before. And yeah, of course, Bo and Rotary, they didn't lose too much time, to be honest, but of course that uncertainty with Bo's fuel as well, that's going to be very interesting. But to be honest, like, Bo's got the same amount of fuel as Splash, so I'm not really too sure whether, I'm not really too sure about that now.
Oh, answers on a postcard, please, for the rest of this race. Honestly, Black is 23 seconds out in front. Do you know what? If I was Black, I would pit in now. And try and come out ahead. If I was Black, I'd be
losing time.
He's losing
time on those tyres. I reckon it's sort of around about 23, 24 seconds, I believe, or something like that. As he,
yes, he's into the pits. I'm so happy.
He almost touched the wall. You almost touched the wall. You almost did what Bo did. Everyone in this top 5 are on the edge here.
Now hang on.
This is absolutely brilliant.
Black's got 14 litres of fuel. Tice had nothing. I think Black's going to be in the lead of the race here. If not, he's going to be really, really close to the lead of the race. We're going to watch his pit entry. It goes up in terms of fuel. He's going to have about 70 litres, I think, when he comes out the pit lane. If he comes out now, he's in the lead of the race. Spot on, he's going to be in the lead of the race coming out the pit lane. Black, with 73 litres of fuel, has produced an absolute masterclass. He's now in the lead of the race. 3.3 seconds, it's going to come down, but Black is now in the lead of the race. How on earth does this guy do it? 2 seconds now, the gap. Tice, Splash, Bo, Rotary left trailing now because of an absolute genius undercut by Black with that fuel, and Black is now in the lead of the race.
I'm speechless. I mean, I knew he had a fuel advantage.
Oh, Bo's done the inside of Splash! Goodness me, Bo down the inside of Splash. They make contact. Splash hangs on for third, and Rotary is now coming into play. You know how these guys like to battle. He's got a 5-10 penalty as well, has Rotary, but Bo is fourth. Rotary in 5th position. Oh my God. 14 minutes to go, and we are now coming down to the crescendo point here out on track tonight between the top 5, Black, Tice, Splash, Bo and Rotary. We're just under 15 minutes from the end of the race, and the top 5 are still separated by 2.9 seconds.
Tice has gained about 3 tenths on T5 Black since he came out of the pits.
Oh, it's Bo!
So
Bo down the inside line of Splash. He's going to be late on the brakes. He is a bit of a braking marker. Splash is on the outside line. Now Bo to the outside line. Rotary's just enjoying this and having a bit of fun in behind. As now Bo cuts the inside line. Is he going to dive it down the inside? No. Splash hangs on for third. Bo really desperately wants to get past, but Rotary falls down onto the gravel there. Just makes a slight mistake by himself, I think. And Bo's got a tremendous run on Splash. He's going to be ahead running down in towards Blanchamont. Can he cut across now on Splash? He sure could have crossed to the inside line. Now he does, and now he's ahead. Bo is through and he's up into third. Splash is fourth. Rotary, I think, has served up that penalty, or slightly served up that penalty after that mistake. But now Splash right on the back of Bo. Down into the bus stop chicane once again. Is Splash going to try around the outside? No, he's not. Black leading, Titan second, Bo third. Got to be honest now, I think we're getting to a point where we can maybe safely say Black and Tice first and second. But who's going to get third? Rotary serving up that penalty, I think, is now out of it, possibly.
Yeah, 2.6 seconds. Unless Bo and Splash have an almighty collision, I don't think there's any chance of Rotary getting this podium. Yeah, or having an almighty battle, as we saw on the stint, on the last stint. Of course, T5 managed to gain about 2 seconds while these 4 were battling. So, but Splash on the back of Bo.
You know where this one's going to go, I think. Splash, in fact, is going to give Bo a little bit of a tap. And these guys want to try and catch Tice, I think, ahead. Splash, I think, wants this. I think he might want this more than Bo. And there's a little bit of contact, a little bit of lag contact, in fact, I think, between them both. Splash is now back to fourth. Bo is still in third, Splash still in fourth, but my god, I think Bo maybe just wants this less than Splash, because she's so there with the ram up the backside, essentially down the straight, to try and catch the car ahead, which is Tice. Splash wants this. Bo maybe doesn't. Maybe he knows that Tice and Black are now too quick.
Perhaps, maybe. Yeah, I mean, of course, the gaps have extended, but obviously, we've seen all throughout this race, anything can change. Anything can change. I think, yeah, like you said, Splash kind of, wants to push for the, Splash kind of wants to push Bo and try to get possibly even second place, maybe even first. But to be honest, I think I'm with Bo. I don't think it's going to be able. I don't think it's going to be a chance. But Splash is now outside of the slipstream range, and Bo is actually catching up on Tice. It's kind of like a stalemate for the top two with T5 Black and Tice, as it's staying at around 1.2 seconds. But Bo is catching up again.
Bo is indeed catching up again, and I have to agree with K&K Dot. Splash is starting to play it smart to try and catch the guys ahead. But he's now got Bo to worry about, more importantly. I think, with 10 minutes to go, there's about 5 laps left. Bo's just got under half fuel, so he should make it, I think, now to the end of the race. Splash has got slightly more fuel than him. Why not try and use each other, try and catch back up? Black, I think, is going to be too quick for Tice. If they catch up to Tice, then it's game on. If they don't, then it's game over. Simple as that.
The top 3 all set 2 minutes 16.8. That is how consistent and how close it is for the top 3. And of course, Splash with a 17.1. Of course, he did run wide a little bit, as he's on the back of Bo again, but he's not going for a move. As he sets a purple sector, I think obviously it's always going to be a purple sector in the slipstream as he goes onto the rumble strips, the AstroTurf. It's very, very risky to do that. Yeah, I think Rotary is definitely outside of a chance, but it's been a very, very solid debut for him. Of course, in 5th place, I think he'll definitely take that. I think especially after leading. But yeah, T5 Black gained a second again.
Bo running massively out wide of X, of No Name in fact, and now that brings Splash into play, but Bo actually kept the throttle down, and he's gained time. It's 0.5 of a second now to Splash, and all of a sudden Bo is now in a more promising position to try and catch up to Tice. As you say, it's a bit of a stalemate, I think, between Black and Tice. They're still going at it out in front, but Bo and Splash, 3rd and 4th, a stalemate between them. Rotary, I would only say, is the one out of this now. Shadow's in 6th, Heaveracer 7th, Viper 8th, Walshreiter in 9th, Doug in 10th, Tap in 11th, and Bar in 12th. Just for anybody that's tuning in to the final less than 10 minutes to go of this bonkers season finale here in the SRS GT3 series. Of course, as I remind you, MX5 Championship coming starting from next week. I will not be in the commentary box because I'm racing out on track. Goodness me, I hope I can try and reclaim a championship and beat a certain somebody alongside me in the commentary box.
Yeah, it still hurts. Yeah, so I think T5 Black is definitely pulling away a little bit.
Splash has had the new fastest lap of the race, 2:16.3.
Oh wow. Yeah, so that's 4 tenths. 4 tenths faster than Bo, and wow. 4 tenths faster than Bo, 6 tenths faster than Tice, and 5 tenths faster than T5 Black. He is on a roll, as of course, going into the final 7.5 minutes, this is going to get very, very interesting.
Tice is on the grass! Tice is on the grass running down the Camel Straight. And now Splash is going to try and use Bo once again, but he can't use Bo too much, because I think Bo is just a sitting target now, possibly out on track. Tice is coming back to these guys. Are these two quickening up Bo and Splash, or are these two out in front still staying as they are? It looks to me as if Bo and Splash are just beginning to try and catch.
Yeah, Bo was 2 tenths faster than Tice on that lap, and that shows as Tice runs wide. I think that might be a penalty for him. I think that might possibly be a penalty for him as he goes onto the rumbles. He goes into there you go. There's the penalty, and he runs wide as he's got dirty tyres. This is not a very good lap for Tice, and that penalty is probably going to cost him this podium, his second place, and definitely probably a podium place.
Drama personified here in Belgium. Black leading, Tyson second, but now, as you can see on your screen, a 5/10 penalty has been found. Tice out on track, and now brings Splash into play for their first podiums of the season. Splash, of course, has already picked up a podium this season. That was in Mount Panorama, I believe. But now, Bo is on the back of Tice. Black, you can probably say, has now won this one with 6 minutes to go. But now Bo, right on the back of Tice. Tice, I think, has got to try and use his instinct. He's got to serve this penalty up in a way where he doesn't lose as much time as possible. There, a little bit served up down towards the bust-up chicane. I think down into the source he can use up his penalty as well. He's going to have to try and battle Bo while battling his demons and battling a penalty. As there we go, he goes and serves it up, and is it going to be still ahead of Splash? He is!
He keeps having Splash, but I think Splash is going to get a better exit. It was almost 3 wide there, and so they're going to go side by side. Bo gives Splash the slipstream. I think Bo wants Splash behind him, and there you go. There's a bit of tactics going on there. As going through Eau Rouge, or Splash and Bo on the curb there, and yeah, Tice is actually losing time as now, there you go, Splash in the slipstream. I'm losing my words again.
Tice is into the back of Splash!
Tice in the back!
My goodness me, same reaction I think from both of us there. Tice into the back of Splash, he really wants this podium. Does Tice, he's still got those flashing headlights of him. I wish he could get rid of them, honestly, but Black leading the way from Bo in second, Splash in third, Tice in fourth. I think Rotary, by the way, made a mistake at the final corner, if I'm not mistaken. I caught something in the background from him as Bo slides his way out, and now Bo is out wide, and now Splash and Tice are going to get the run. Tice has got the overrun on Bo. He has to try and defend it, Bo, but he cannot, and Tice is through and he's up into third. Everyone seems to be making mistakes now. Am I being too mad and thinking that Rotary could still catch these guys?
It was the same mistake from Bo that Tice made, but crucially he still had 2 tyres on the curve, so he didn't get a penalty. Of course he's got dirty tyres with it, but still though, Splash up to second. Splash up to second. We said he was fighting for third. He's up to second. It's a brilliant. It's going to be a brilliant result for Splash, and I think definitely for the SDM team. Yeah, absolutely insane. But yeah, to be honest, 4.5 seconds. I think even if these guys battle.
Here comes Bo. Bo's right on the back of Tice. Sorry to cut in. Tice is down the inside line of Splash.
Tice down the inside.
Daniel Ricciardo-esque, brilliant move by Tice down the inside line. That is the sign of a good driver, when you can come back from making a mistake like that. Tice is back through in the space of a lap, and he's up into second. That just comes to show what sort of driver he is to pull off that move from making a mistake just 3/4 of a lap go.
Beautiful on the braking. Beautiful, absolutely fantastic. Of course, there was a little bit of contact, but there's always going to be contact. I think especially with GT Sport. But yeah, Bo dropping back a little bit, but he's actually got a really good run off of Eau Rouge and Radion, and he's actually gaining a bit more on Splash than Splash gaining on Tice. Tice goes defensive. Splash on the outside line. He's ahead, and he's gone through. He's got brilliant move by Splash round the outside. Very well executed, and Bo is just sticking in behind, and this is the penultimate lap, by the way, so all this to play for on this final 2 laps, or a lap and a half, well, a lap and 3/4 I would say.
Well, we can say Black's won this, definitely. 5.6 seconds out in front. Unless he makes an absolute cataclysmic mistake out on track, he's definitely won this now. Splash is in second, Tice in third, Bo for Shadara in fourth. Rotary, by the way, 4.3 seconds. He is trying to gain, but I think his tyres are just giving up on him. They look quite worn, to be honest, out on track. But now the crescendo point comes. Black, Splash, Tice, Bo, second, third, and fourth. KK Dot saying, man, what a battle. Good I joined to see this. It's really good you joined to see this, because honestly, this has been the race of the season. Season finale, delivering a dry race around Spa, and then you get the real pinnacle of motorsport here in SRS GT3 series, and now Bo tries to close it in once again onto the back of Tice. Tice, in fact, closes in on the back of Splash, and you know what's going to come from Tice. Is he going to try and lunge it down the inside? Pretty much shoved him as Bo picked up a penalty. How on earth he picked up a penalty?
He just went a little bit wide. He went over the white line, going into...
But look,
like,
he served up his penalty.
He's
served
lost
it up. That's unbelievable. He served it up behind them both, and he's still within a fight for second. It's absolutely unbelievable. Final lap of the race. Black leading from Splash in second, Tyson third, Bo Fushidara in fourth. Bo's on the inside line!
There's contact!
God almighty, he was late on the brakes. Bo is really, really wanting this. It's letting Splash get away, though, and I think Splash is now in a position, maybe, to take the second position. He's 8/10 inferior, running down towards the Rouge and Radion for the final time on lap 39 out of however many we've had as Bo cuts across, and I think it'll be a 5-10 penalty maybe for Bo, as it'll pop up on your screen now. Yep, 5-10 penalty for Bo. Tyson Splash scot-free. Splash still hanging on for second, Tice third, Bo in fourth, and it's coming down. I wish we had Heart of Courage on at this stage, honestly.
Oh, what a race, honestly. We've only got 30 seconds left of this, and to be honest, I'm so glad it was a 1 hour 30 race and not the traditional 1 hour, because this is absolutely insane. And Titus is still in the back of Splash. There could be a move possibly getting it down to the bus stop chicane. We have seen, of course, a couple of laps ago that Tice can make that move going down the inside. He's very good on the brakes going into the bus stop chicane, and now going through Buon, of course, T5 Black 6.5 seconds ahead. It's been an absolute masterclass from him.
Viper's down the inside on a hair raiser. Further down the field, Viper's soon up into 7th. Viper gets hair raiser very late on into the com. Gets the move done. Sorry to cut in. I just literally saw a position change further down on the left hand side. But Black is leading. 6.7 seconds. He's won this. Splash in second. Tyson third. Bo in fourth. It's not how it's going to end, because Bo, with a really poor exit coming out of Campos, I think that might be it for his chances now, unless he can really find something in that Audi. As now Splash is under pressure from Tice. Tice has got one more opportunity, and that's into the bus stop chicane. Look at the closing speed on him. Is he going to try and get the move done? Well, we will not go on board with Black. You can go on board with him if you want, Palmer, but I'm going to continue on with this. As Tice switches to the inside line, he dummies him. Splash really wants this. There's contact between them both, and Bo could still have a chance of a podium. This is unbelievable. Black wins. Splash in second, Tice in third. Could be a photo finish. Splash is second, from Tyson third, Bo in fourth. What a race between the lot. Rotary is in fifth. Shadow is on for personal best lap, could get fastest lap of the race, possibly Splash as well. Comes around the final, Shadow I should say, around the final corner, as now Shadow fights his way through the final corner. Is he going to defeat Splash for fastest lap? No, he's not. Shadow finishes in sixth. Viper is going to get 7th in the Viper out on track. Bar, by the way, Doug and Tap have all finished. We're just waiting on 3 more drivers to finish. Viper across the line to finish in 7th. Hairraiser to come across the line and finish in 8th. Serve up his penalty as well. And Ballschweitzer, on what could be his final appearance in the SRS GT3 series. He is coming around the final corner to finish in 9th. Palmer, if you wouldn't mind trying to add the top 3 into our party, that would be absolutely fantastic. Ballschweitzer across the line to finish in 9th position. What a race. Black has somehow won this by 6.4 seconds. Splash is in 2nd, and Tice is in 3rd position. Oh, just what the doctor ordered. 6 positions gained for Black. Not a clean race, no pole position, no fastest lap, and he's done it out on track. I don't know how. I do not know how, honestly. Palmer's just inviting, I think, the top 3 into our party. What an unbelievable race. If you enjoyed that, like, comment and subscribe and share this stream the hell out of it, honestly. What an unbelievable race, and full credit to all of the guys out on track for delivering the goods here. What an unbelievable race. It got a little bit tight towards the end with Splash and Ties down in toward the bus stop for the final time. Splash deserves a really, really good result there in second. We are about to get some of the guys in now. Tice has just joined us. Splash now joining us, and we'll wait for our race winner to join us as well. And of course, we'll go through from first, second and third in our interviews. So we are waiting for the final man to join up in our party. And hopefully he will join very soon indeed. Unless he has joined. There he is. There is our race winner, TSR T5 Black. And Black, it was hard work for you today. One question from me. How on earth did you do that?
Yeah. I don't know. Fuel saving, trying to put good laps in. Yeah, I don't know. Just keep my head down, yeah.
Keep your head down. You must have been absolutely lapping up the battles in front of you.
Yeah, it was it's fun for once to be in the middle to fight my way up, but I didn't think this would be the end result, if I should be honest.
I didn't think it would be. You qualified 7th in qualifying, which is unlike you. Really unlike you, and you still win.
Yeah. I'm sorry, guys.
Credit to you, honestly, for being our champion. Your credit has to go to you, Black. Absolutely fantastic drive. Palmer, do we have any questions for Black?
No.
Did I impress you, Palmer?
I'm not very good. I'm not very good with questions, so I'm just gonna keep out of the questioning.
Okay, I have a question then, Palmer. You told me to impress you in the Discord. Did I impress you?
What do you think the answer is?
I mean, I just want to hear you say it.
Honestly, though, I said this in commentary. Like, I knew that you were going to have an advantage because of the fuel, but I didn't think you would have that much of an advantage. That was absolutely insane. You know, congratulations. And at one point you were at 8th, and then all of a sudden you're in 1st. Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you, Palmer.
And Black, to come on to it, is that actually your final race now within the SRS GT3 series?
It was the final whole season, yes. Maybe I will jump in and do some guest races, stuff like that, if I get boring of playing on my PC.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're more than welcome back, honestly, and to go out with a race like that is absolutely unbelievable. Every best wish to you for going on to PC as well, and we cannot, when you come back, honestly, you're coming back to win a championship. That's no shadow of a doubt at all. And hopefully we will not see the last of you on GT Sport.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Let's hope so indeed. Now we move on to our P2 finisher, who was SDM_Splash. And Splash, how on earth was that race for you?
Yeah, I'm just happy we had such a great race. I'm not sure, I didn't expect this finish for myself, but yeah, it was one of the best my finishes in SRS League.
Yeah, it was your best finish. It was your best finish all season, because I think you finished third in Mount Panorama when I tried to take the penalty, give you a penalty, and then took it away from you quite literally in the space of about a few minutes. But that's your best result today. You must be really happy with that.
Oh, especially after yesterday's race, so it is nice feeling now to get podium at least.
Really is, and honestly, you've been knocking on the door, I think, all season for podiums, but to have 2 in 1 season must fill you with a great amount of confidence going forward into next season.
Yep, I am ready to do next Mazda. I think Mazda will be next. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
It is going to be fantastic to see you on the grid as well. You're going to be racing against me, by the way, so no pressure there.
Okay, we will see. We will see.
We will see. I'll see if I'm a shadow of my former self, as if I'm trying to knock myself up towards, I think, with that. Tice, we will move on to you, finishing P3, of course, out on track. And what a race. How was it from your perspective?
Well, let me just start off by saying a lot happened, and I'm not gonna talk about too much. I've already been told off by some of the guys inside Max, like, don't rage. So, yeah, some really weird moves throughout the race that I really don't understand.
We said in commentary it was getting over-aggressive. Did you feel definitely. It was getting over-aggressive to the point where it was getting dangerous?
Yeah.
That answers that then. That really answers that. I think, honestly, in terms of the action, it was great. Obviously, the blocking, the moves, and things like that, we like to see, but we need it to be done in a clean way. And I think everyone lost their head a little bit. I think everyone contributed to it at some point. Apart from Black, I think Black didn't really get involved in much, to be honest, out on track to win the race in the end by 6.5 seconds, 7 seconds, whatever it was. But, Tice, from your perspective, third for Sidemax must be quite happy, especially given the circumstances of the race.
Nah, for me, it really wasn't, because I feel like second was definitely on the cards, and maybe even first if it didn't get held up at a certain point in the race. But honestly, just, like, great job to both T5 and to Splash. They did an absolute great job this race.
Yep, they did a fantastic job indeed. And of course, we move on to the Mazdas next season. It's going to be quite interesting from our perspective on track. How do you think it's going to go down for the viewers? What can the viewers look forward to?
I think we're going to have very close racing, like side by side and also behind each other. Going to be quite difficult to break away from the slipstream, but still going to be good for racing.
Let's hope you don't get put in the pit wall like an SLM then. Goodness me. I'll get the calendar up for you guys to see what is going to be coming on. And let me have a look at the calendar. We do have the calendar in the Discord, don't we?
Yeah, we do. I know it out of my head as well, so.
I'm trying to find it. So, hang on a minute. Give me a second. Yeah, I can't find it. You're gonna have to tell people where we're going next week.
Okay, so we'll start by going to the Red Bull Ring Short. Then we're gonna have 2 races, of course: the normal race and the reverse grid race, which we have throughout the whole season. The week after, we'll go to Track and Trail Gardens. It is.
Yeah.
To have another 2 races, and then we'll end off in 2 races in Interlagos.
And if you're not wetted enough for that appetite, honestly, then that race has probably just summed it up. Watch the MX5 Championship next season, from next week. We're starting from next week, of course, for the MX5 Championship. It'll be Trevor Holden taking you through the action. As I've already mentioned, I'm going to be driving out on track, hoping trying to beat Palmer, but I'm not holding my hopes up against that at all. And hopefully it's going to be really great racing. I think we've got something like 13 or 14 sign-ups, which is absolutely incredible for a different season, a different championship. But it comes to show the real community that we are building here as well. And I've got a special announcement to make as well, because we in SRS, now I haven't run it through Tice or anybody like that, and they don't know that I'm doing this, but we are actively looking to try and set up, and Black's going to be very happy with this, an Assetto Corsa League.
On PC?
Maybe on PC, maybe on PS4. Wow. Depends. Yeah. What was that?
I was going.
It was T5's cat.
Yeah.
T5's cat endorses that we're setting up an Assetto Corsa League, I think. Yeah, but I was on the game today, and honestly, the overall racing I think is really good. We were in, I was in open lobbies, and the feeling that you get from the cars is absolutely immense. And I think in terms of the broadcast ability as well, it's really good. We're going to be actively looking into that. I'm sure plans will probably come up in the next few weeks regarding an Assetto Corsa League. As I say, it could be on PC, could be on PS4. Just depends on how many people really are interested, but it's going to be fascinating to see how that develops up. And that, of course, is one of our 5 plans going, or one of our 5-point plans, in fact, going forward, of course, this season within SRS, and indeed this year within 2021. So hopefully we can provide you with a little bit of entertainment, as we are still in pesky lockdown here in the UK, unfortunately, but hopefully we brought a bit of normality into your life tonight. From myself, from Palmer, and from the 3 guys that, of course, joined for the interviews. Thank you to everyone who participated in the SRS GT3 series this season. It has been an absolute honour to take you through 8 out of the 9 races, of course. I missed because of the 24 hours of F1 Mount Panorama. But thank you to Trevor for getting involved in all of that. Thank you to everyone that has raced this season. Without you guys, there simply wouldn't be SRS. And I think we'll leave it there. Please stay safe in these crazy times that we are all living in. Stay safe, keep your family safe, keep your cat safe as well, Black, especially. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching from myself and from Palmer. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, next week for the MX5 Championship, goodbye.